Morning. We were asked to respond to 5 questions. It was a great help, thank you. Made us focus. First question was, when did you come to Canada? My husband Martin and I came to Canada by boat in October 1951. On the way to Quebec, I remember how beautiful the St. Lawrence was with all those coloured trees. From Quebec, we took the train to London, our destination. Second question was, why did we decide to leave Holland and come to Canada? We came to Canada for 2 reasons. The Netherlands, or Holland as it's often called, was slow to recuperate after World War II. Also, there was an enormous housing shortage as a result of that war, especially in Rotterdam, where we lived. Rotterdam was heavily bombed at the beginning of the war in May 1940 to make the Dutch army and the government capitulate, which it did after 3 days of valiant fighting to prevent further bloodshed. We wanted to get married and would have had to move in with either parent or other family members. The idea of living in an attic did not appeal to us. One of Martin's brothers had gone to Australia, but said he was coming back. So my father, who worked in the newspaper business, suggested we try Canada, which had a much more similar lifestyle as the Netherlands. So we applied for immigration to Canada and worked without sponsors, because Martin had a very remarkable skill. We then married in September of 1951. 21 and 22. So young. How were we treated when we arrived? Since we were not sponsored, we were on our own. There's no one to greet us. We arrived on a Saturday at noon, saw a Greek hotel across the station, and checked ourselves in. I think the hotel is still there. Not as nice looking anymore. We stashed our luggage and went for a walk to find a grocery store. We were hungry, and luckily there was a grocery store on Richmond Street at that time, not far from the station. We got milk, bread and butter, cheese, jam, sugar and tea to last us for a couple of days, plus the Saturday paper to look for an apartment and jobs. Plus the Saturday paper, yes. For jobs, which were very scarce in 1951. We were only allowed to bring out of Holland $75 each, so we had to be very careful with that money. We had brought dishes and cutlery for 2 in our luggage, which was really good. After what we thought was a wonderful lunch, we went for a walk that same day, exploring the neighborhood. To our dismay, we found that by now everything's closed. Everything closed on Saturday afternoon. You know that? Yeah. Till Monday morning. So we walked on to find a church. We were told the Presbyterian or United Church was closest to our beliefs. On Queen's Ave, we found a large church. It said Presbyterian on the stones over the door. Here in Holland, the ministers in Canada mostly have been church. So we took courage, rang the doorbell, and introduced ourselves to the gentleman who opened the door. It happened to be Reverend Angus McQueen, of First and United Church of Canada, later as moderator of the United Church. We were warmly welcomed at his wife Netta and their 4 daughters. They were genuinely interested in our affairs. The next day, we sat at the back of the church, very unsure of ourselves, as I realized I was not wearing a hat like all the other ladies. In Holland, you wear it. Then the Queen told the congregation of our and asked if someone knew of an empty furnished apartment. After church, many crowded around us, so someone took it away. That was Netta, and we didn't realize that until Reverend McQueen walked in his robes. We spent many Christmases with them the first years. It was Netta who persuaded me to join the UCW. My very first purchase that first week was to buy myself a hat. In 3 days, Martin found work in his trade as precision toolmaker. That was a bit of luck. One of the phone calls he made on Monday morning was answered by a certain Mr. Reed Evans, who did not have a job for him, but called some of his buddies and found Martin a job. The reason was that Mr. Evans had fought in Holland to liberate us and had a soft spot for Holland. How lucky can you get? On a later visit to Holland by Reed and Edith Evans to revisit the areas where Reed had fought, we arranged for one of Martin's brothers to chauffeur them through Holland wherever they wanted to go. Reed used to tell us many jokes on our visits, and Edith used to say, "Oh, Reed, they are just little children." We remained good friends till death. I was hired by the London Language Company that same week. I worked there 9 years till we started the family. I was really living in a great hotel, better between L&D's function apartment. The first question was, do I like living here? Do I like living here? I love Canada with all my heart, as did my husband. And of course, as do my 3 boys. In our younger years, we camped in many of our beautiful parks and provinces we visited. Like proper Dutchies, we loved the water, and later had canoes and then sailboats. We went back out occasionally with his family, but my immediate family, my parents and my 2 sisters, eventually came to Canada. They Canada their home. This was very nice. The fifth question was, what is one of your favorite memories of Canada? Well, that was when we were then in Halifax, and on our way to Strathroy, and on to the full uniform riding on splendid horse, stopped by our campsite for a chat. Of course, the boats were in awe, always red splendid, and were allowed to pet horse. Then the kind mounted with each boatman's horse to their way here. That was one of my favorite remembrances of Canada. Thank you.